Imagine the proletariat comes to power and establishes its rule and embarks on the socialist road. There will be the challenge not only of overcoming great inequalities within that country, but also of having to deal with the remaining imperialist powers and those allied with them who will continue to threaten and may even outright attack the new socialist states. To meet this challenge will mean, and it will require, defeating the threats and attacks by the imperialists and their allies as long as they remain in the world. The even greater challenge will be doing this by means and methods that don't fall back into the ways of the old system itself. And what is capitalism as a system? Capital is a relation of domination, exploitation, and capitalism is a system based on exploitation. Sometimes people think of capital as money, but that is not the heart and not the essence of it. In a deeper sense, they're trading in human suffering. So once again, when you look at a machine, any kind of machine, including a CD player or anything, think of the fact that this machine is just the product, the physical embodiment of the labor of the people who made it, with their skin and their blood, their bones and their suffering. Look at your money. Who's on it? Mostly dead presidents and slave owners. What should be on the money to really express the actual relation of things? Who should really be on the money? The little children, the slaves and others who have been enslaved and exploited and degraded in this way. That should be on the money to tell us where the wealth really came from. And along with that, when we get to it, we'll put people who have led slave rebellions and uprisings and revolutions against this system on the money. And most fundamentally, capitalism has brought forward the proletariat, the class whose exploitation is the basis for capitalism. Capitalism cannot do without the proletariat. But the proletariat can do very well without capital. Capitalism cannot do without exploiting the proletariat as the very foundation of this system. But the proletariat is a class of exploited people. And once again, this is why the proletariat is the force which all over the world can lead the masses of people to overthrow this system that exploits and oppresses them. This is the historic era we are living in now. The era when capitalism can be brought down and to bring a new world, a communist world. If you want to eliminate a problem or an evil, you must get to the root of it. If you want to eliminate the oppression and miserable conditions of the masses of people in the world today, you have to dig down to the underlying foundation, the ground in which this oppression and misery is rooted. This is why a real revolution is needed. Again, under another system, the system of communism, machinery would be made in radically different conditions, for radically different ends, and would belong to the people, not some capitalists who step in to expropriate them, to take them as their own at each stage of the process. Under capitalism, many things that millions of people need, such as decent housing, do not get produced, or do not get produced at prices that can be afforded by those who really need them. All for one reason. What counts to the capitalist is not human need, but what they call profit. That is, how much money can be gained from producing and selling something. Every capitalist enterprise is in the business of making profit, and they will shift from making one kind of product to another, from making in one part of the country or one part of the world to another, in the restless, endless search for the most profit. They are not in the business of making this or that thing that is useful. They are not in the business of doing that. They are in the business of exploiting those they employ and beating out other capitalists in this process. And to them, the people they hire and fire, the people they never hire in the first place, the people who buy their products, and the people who are too poor to buy them. To the capitalists, everyone counts and can only count as a business calculation, if they count you at all.